Forever, no one could love you more. Whatever your mind may say, I'm sure. Can you help me out? So hold your breath, don't protest, 'cause baby, right now, I know best. I say this love I give to you. It's gonna be your forever. No one could kiss like this. Child, yeah, this soul man, we will simply call you please. Yes, we're too hard. You just can't divide my mistakes. To find out what I really forever. Baby, right now, I know that's I do for you. It's gonna be all your slap. No one could ever love you more. Hear me say, forever, lady, I'll be loving you. I'll be loving you forever. Oh, baby, I love you. Sure, you can believe that's what I will be here for you. Yes, forever. I said I will. I will be here for you. Said I will. take some time. Let me try to find the words I want to say to you. I've been searching my mind. I've got to find the reasons I feel I feel. Let me emphasize that I recognize what I should not do. And though I know it's wrong, every now and then I think just because you. There's no sometimes you cross my mind, and I don't know why, but I feel from you. I want to stay close. I realize the most will ever be I've got kids home. I can't leave them alone, 'cause I'm feeling me. I've got another life, 'cause I still love you right. So I still want to stay. It's the way and the reason you try to be cool. Even when you try, tell me what I need. Yeah, to see trust your heart. that I will be right by your side. Just we're gonna make it. We're gonna make it if we try. Yeah. We're gonna make it. We're gonna make it, you and I. Yeah. We're gonna make it. We're gonna make it, you and you and me. We'll have to show some understanding. Whatever it is, I know that we can work it out. The joys and pain are something we'll go through. I do believe that's what love is all about. We live and we learn. That's the way life treats us. Sometimes you see things that make you doubt your mind. I'm gonna be right there. I'm gonna be right there to love you, sweet baby. 'Cause I have to believe that love will stand the test of time. We're gonna make it. We're gonna make it if we try. Yeah. Oh, baby. We're gonna make it. We're gonna make it, you and I. Yeah. We're gonna make it. Ooh, yeah. Stick with me, baby. Oh, yeah. I wanna be with you. Yes, I do, baby. stayed in my head all night long. You wanted me to love you when you said simply reach out and touch me. My love is in your head. Feel me. I want to feel the fire. Why you wanna play with my emotion? And if I should lose for any reason at all, then just let my record show I gave you all my love. I know. All that's all we have to do. I want to feel the fire. I want to feel the fire. Why? I don't want to play with your emotions. Give me love. All your emotions. You. And if I should lose your love for any one reason, tell me, then just let my record show today. Oh, feel me. I will feel you. Feel me. I wanna feel you. But tell me, don't you dare. I wouldn't dare. Don't you dare try to play with my emotion. I wanna give you all of my love. I wanna give you all of my love. Give it to me. Feel the fire. Yeah. Feel the fire. Feel it. With my emotion, I do. Give me all. God damn it. Whatever happened to the love ballad? I swear to God, man. What the hell do people listen to now? Woo! Thank you, thank you, thank you for listening to the smooth sounds of Charles Faulkner Jr. on the Late Night Tip on YouTube and also on Magic 95.9. Woo! How y'all doing tonight? How y'all doing tonight? Oh, God. Woo! We got Ingo Savage up in this piece. Regina Waits, James Kim, and Charles D. Kerr. Woo! We were listening to the Phil Perry, very good jazz singer. Woo! Then we listened to some No Rhyme, No Reason from the Rest in Power, Peace in Paradise, George Duke. Then we listened to some Frankie Beverly's Just Us and the live version of Stephanie Mills and woo, the legendary Stephanie Mills and the legendary Teddy Pendergrass. Oh, Teddy P. Woo, how's everybody doing? Good evening, Q Savage. We got the lovely Regina. I even had my buddy, my homegirl, my sister-in-arms, Danny, listening. The ever so lovely and ever so smart Alec yourself. Woo! Let me know if you're enjoying everything so far. Trying to lighten the mood because we're going to talk about some heavy, heavy stuff like we did last time. Thank you all for the support, donations, Rocket King. Woo! See, I have to give credit where credit is due. Shout out to the Angry Man Valdez. You know, I'm Hulk Hogan. He's the Angry Man, and he's the Macho Man Angry Savage. You know, we used to look at effeminate behavior as something that will be homosexual. But contrary to the popular belief, effeminate behavior is extremely potent even in heterosexual men. Let's take, for instance, a guy, Van Jones. He has a JD, successful guy, black man. So always talk about his kids, which is great. Salute the brother. But you always see him crying. Like, are we men of action or men of emotion? You cry so much. And then the worst part about it, you have your white counterparts pointed out. Jimmy Swagger didn't cry this much in the 80s. You're crying about every other people, every other race, every other creed that doesn't give a damn about your own. What you saw on election night, or a few days after, was not the first incident. There's years of him doing this. Like, they just put the most softest and emotional Negro they can find. Like, you literally work for President Obama's cabinet. You're one of his top advisors. You would think that a brother who's been in the positions that he's been in, and it's not just him, so I'm not just picking on him, and others, that we wouldn't see this weak-kneed behavior. This is the reason why women do not respect us, because you get into this tirade. Oh, it's going to be hard out there for parents to teach their kids. You're a black man with black sons. Get over it. The hardest thing to do as a black man is to make it. See, you're one of 0.1% of black men to earn a JD, basically a doctorate of law. Oh yeah, you know it's the soy sauce, man. A doctorate in law, you're one of the most accomplished brothers in the freaking country. And you're crying over people like black men and black people, period, and black women are this moral authority. If you don't believe me, I'll play what he said 4 years ago. Hell, I'll even play what he said when he listened to First Lady Michelle. Now, there's a difference between crying over a loved one, tears of joy, but when everything just come across this guy's plate, he is crying. I'm sorry. You teach your boys to keep their emotions in check. Like, for some odd reason, I wanted to play the Lonely Man song every time this Negro cries. Part of your dignity, part of your respect is how other men view you. The other part is how your women view you. Think about that. You see my big ass. You see my big ass. Well, they said I couldn't get any overtime. And I feel as though it's an injustice to us all. If you'll get your ass up off the goddamn ground. If you don't believe me, I'm going to play the first one about Michelle Obama's speech 4 years ago at the Democratic National Convention. Buckle your seats. We're going on for a little ride.
Desires or disappointments. Van Jones, I gotta call you out. I saw you crying.
Well, I mean, first of all, if you weren't moved by that, go see the doctor. I mean, every American has to appreciate what it means for a woman like her to have grown up in Chicago, dark skin, not the classically beautiful woman according to the standards of that time. To be able to come out here, she gave a clinic on how to connect with the American people, how to talk. There are politicians, professional politicians who came up here tonight who did not connect with the crowd. And the very first time that Hillary Clinton's name was mentioned with not one boo. The very first time Tim Kaine's name was mentioned without one boo. It wasn't the professional politicians. It was her.
Think about that. Every time somebody speaks, you gotta cry. Well, she grew up in Chicago. Okay. She wasn't a beauty queen. Okay. Michelle Obama is very accomplished in her own right. I'm not gonna cry because she has a speech. I mean, I'm gonna just give her an applause like any normal creature would do. But you see, that get in touch with your feelings does not mean let them take over. Remember, this is a guy who has sons that he claims. Like, your woman don't want you to be crying all the damn time. Like, did your best friend pass away or something? Did somebody shoot the dog? Like, what's going on? You're more concerned of playing. It's the equivalent of going to church. And you see the two middle-aged or older women trying to out-shout and out-hallelujah the other. For some godforsaken reason, you're not sounding like a guy who's highly accomplished. You're sounding like you're scared of the boogeyman. Think about it. All these effeminate guys. Well, we don't have to deal with bullying anymore. See, my parents would have whooped my ass crying like that. I'm almost 40 years old, and he's what, 52? What the hell is up with this shit? I'm gonna play 4 years ago now. How emotional he was explaining himself and how he felt about Trump's victory 4 years ago. Buckle up, folks.
This was many things. This was a rebellion against the elites. True, it was a complete reinvention of politics and polls. It's true, but it was also something else. We've talked about race. I mean, we've talked about everything but race tonight. We've talked about income. We've talked about class. We've talked about region. We haven't talked about race. This was a white lash. This was a white lash against a changing country. It was a white lash against a black president in part. And that's the part where the pain comes. And Donald Trump has a responsibility tonight to come out and reassure people that he is going to be the president of all the people who he insulted and offended and brushed aside. Yeah, when you say, you want to take your country back, you got a lot of people who feel that we're not represented well either. But we don't want to feel that someone has been elected by throwing away some of us to appeal more deeply to others. So this is a deeply painful moment tonight. I know it's not just about race. There's more going on than that. But race is here too. We got to talk about it.
Now, I'm going to play. I'm trying to find if I can get the hell one. When he talks about, I want you to hear this, when he talks about Muslims and texting him and all this.
Well, look, first of all, congratulations. Both of you guys
We're not there yet.
well, you're further than anybody said you would be. And I have enough class, and I was raised well enough to say, when you outdo,
yes, sir, thank you.
When you outdo expectations, good for you. But there's another side to this. People have talked about a miracle. I'm hearing about a nightmare. It's hard to be a parent tonight for a lot of us. You tell your kids, don't be a bully. You tell your kids, don't be a bigot. You tell your kids, do your homework and be prepared. And then you have this outcome, and you have people putting children to bed tonight, and they're afraid of breakfast. They're afraid of, how do I explain this to my children? I have Muslim friends who are texting me tonight saying, should I leave the country? I have families of immigrants that are terrified tonight. This was many things. This was a rebellion against the elites.
I'm going to stop that because I wanted to play the full part. Now, I'm going to play the one that was a few days ago. A few days ago.
And your thoughts? It's well, it's easier to be a parent this morning. It's easier to be a dad. It's easier to tell your kids character matters. It matters. Telling the truth matters. Being a good person matters. And it's easier for a whole lot of people. If you're Muslim in this country, you don't have to worry if the president doesn't want you here. If you're an immigrant, you don't have to worry if the president's going to be happier to have babies snatched away or send dreamers back for no reason. It's a vindication for a lot of people who have really suffered. I can't breathe. That wasn't just George
Floyd, there was a lot of people that felt that they couldn't breathe. Every day you're waking up and you're getting these tweets and you just don't know, and you're going to the store and people who have been afraid to show their racism are getting nastier and nastier to you, and you're worried about your kids and you're worried about your sister. And can she just go to Walmart and get back into her car without somebody saying something to her? And you spent so much of your life energy just trying to hold it together. And this is a big deal for us just to be able to get some peace and have a chance for a reset. And the character of the country matters. And being a good man matters. I just want my sons to look at this. Look at this. It's easy to do it the cheap way and get away with stuff, but it comes back around. It comes back around. And this is a good day for this country. I'm sorry for the people who lost. For them, it's not a good day. But for a whole lot of people, it's a good day. Gloria?
And as long as I've been covering politics, we talk about character. And a lot of campaigns, character didn't count. Other things mattered more. And I always ask myself this question, this race, would character matter? Would values matter? Would that go to the top of the list? And COVID became part of that, became part of the character issue, how you handle something that has killed more than 200,000 people in this country. It became a matter of character and values. And you look at Joe Biden, and that is who he is. He's a man of empathy. You can disagree with him on all this, politically, you can say he's a socialist, which of course he isn't. He was very hard for Republicans to pigeonhole because he said more than 4 decades in public service in which he refused to be pigeonholed. And what's so fascinating about what's going to occur is that during the campaign, or at least early on in the campaign, we always heard Joe Biden talk about himself as a transitional candidate because he is old. Now, as a president, he's going to have to be transformational because so much needs to be done in this country, whether it's about COVID, whether it's about the economy, whether it's about race, whether it's about climate. You can go down the list. So this man who was the youngest man, one of the youngest, I should say, ever elected to the United States Senate, will now be the oldest man ever to take the presidential oath. Think of that. Think of that.
First of all, let me say, watching Wolf make that announcement threw me back to when I was in the war room in 2008 at the campaign headquarters, and I heard him say the words that Barack Obama would be president of the United States, and I was overwhelmed with emotion. I'm sure that's the feeling of people over in Biden's headquarters and many people across the country. And Van just so eloquently and movingly expressed that. Joe Biden, we tend to correct in our elections for the deficiencies of the person in that office. And in this case, those deficiencies went to character, went to decency, went to a lack of empathy. And these are qualities, as Gloria said, that Joe Biden has in abundance. And that made him the right candidate to run against Donald Trump. I think when he said last night that he wanted to bring the country together, that he wanted to be the president of all Americans, that he fundamentally believes that. He grew up that way in politics. But we should also recognize today, and I'm sure Rick will speak to this, that there are a lot of Americans who think that will see this as a gut punch because we are in a very divided country. And for all the tasks that Joe Biden faces now, President-elect Biden, whether it's dealing with the virus or dealing with the economy or myriad other problems, the greatest challenge is going to be to deal with a deeply divided country and try and find a common language and a common set of concerns that we can work on together, even if we disagree on many, many issues. And that, I so fervently hope for the country that he is successful in moving us forward in that way.
And we're back. I bet you every time Van Jones get on camera, the stocks in Charmin's tissue goes up. Wow. See, being a father of a black son, I'm not worried about who's president. I'm worried about who's going to rob him, who's going to bully him. I got to teach him how to defend himself, not cry. I got to teach him that the world is hard. The world doesn't owe you shit. As a matter of fact, when you become an adult, you are in negative account. See, the craziest part about it is that you look at a guy who's accomplished as he is, making X amount of dollars. Oh, he's making good. He's a regular on networks like CNN, especially with his educational background as well. And you're hooked up with the Obama administration as well. You don't even live in the reality of the average black parent. There are some parents in America who don't look forward to breakfast because some of them are struggling to put something on the damn table to begin with, if they even have a damn table. But you got the audacity to cry over a presidential nomination. And we're fighting to get respect as men, as leaders in this country. What does that look like? Can somebody please tell me in the chat, what does that look like? Does that seem like a guy who's accomplished? Or does that seem like a guy who's weak-kneed? Well, also, Ford, you got to realize that, he's real emotional about Joe Biden coming in here and bringing in the country. Fuck out of here with that. I'm trying my best not to curse, but the fuck out of here with that. Weak-kneed than a motherfucker. Look at this motherfucker, right? Education. University of Tennessee, bachelor's in science. Yale University. Yale. This motherfucker went to one of the fucking Ivy Leagues crying like this. Really? Really? You went to literally the third oldest institution of higher learning in the United States. Really? See, this is the reason why the effeminate nature of the American black male is disgusting. Van Jones looked like a middle linebacker for the goddamn Ravens and Steelers and crying. Accomplished brother. But then you get this emotional. You don't even have the black women on there. How the hell you get all this education? You're a news commentator, lawyer, author. You've been to places that black men can only dream. So you telling me that you're crying and worried about Joe Biden? It's a good day. The guy who in the 70s and 80s fought against busing black children to white schools, and he was tutored and mentored under known segregationists. I tell you, man, your leadership is done. More. You want to talk about racial inequalities, and you're crying over the guy who's been the most the most staunch racist. Can someone someone really tell me this is not what black men and powerful leaderships have become? Crying over people that put you in your racist situations in the first place. Unwilling to say, you know what? I never taught you to be afraid. Even the Bible says, I have not given you a spirit of fear, but of love and a sound mind. So, why would I instill my son with a mind, heart, and soul of fear? See, my father was never a man of crime, nor was my grandfather, nor was my great grandfather. See, they didn't, like myself, they didn't have a chance to cry over the country. They were too damn busy protecting. I'm going over his Wikipedia page now. You're, you're hobnobbing with people in places of power. You literally served as President Obama's special advisor for green jobs in '09, a distinguished visiting fellow at Princeton. Really? Oh, another Ivy League, the fourth oldest. Yeah, you're right, AB. These are bootlicking or crime. The Roland Martin, huh? Looking for a job. Instead of actually saying, why can't we hold these politicians accountable for making policies into law that disenfranchises black people, black boys, and black men in particular? You just get along, go along to get along, huh? It's disgusting. It's disgusting. My man Ingo said, hearing this, I felt compelled to do 50 push-ups. I might go tinker around in my car just for shingles. Got to make sure I'm not absorbing none of that moisture I just listened to. Facts. James Kill said, James Brown is turning in his grave. It's a man's world. Drop your nuts. See, what makes it disgusting is that he was on many of these civil rights councils. He was an affiliate with the lawyers community of civil rights. And this is what kills me about all these so-called civil rights groups, NAACP and others. You know what the biggest problems are, but you yet to tackle them. I've always said this, the three things the black people in America does not give a fuck about: black boys, education, and being the hero of your own narrative. I've said it. How can you be a civil rights lawyer if you see the conditions that black people have been in for the last 100 years and you've not taken this to the world court? You're full of shit. You know what I'm going to start doing? I'm going to start having a full of shit award. You're crying on TV. It's so hard to raise my sons. But you're making money. What about the average black man who's struggling to find a job? Oh, we won't talk about that, right? Well, what about the platinum plan? Well, I don't believe he'll do this. But you believe the guy who made a bill. And don't, oh, do y'all want to hear? Give me a woo if you want to hear Joe Biden during his senatorial days. What he believes in is locking your asses up, throwing away the key. But yet, it's funny. You work at, what does this say? Princeton. Around the same time, Jones received appointments at Princeton as a distinguished fellow in both the Center of African American Studies and in the program in Science, Technology, and Environmental Policy at Princeton School of Public and International Affairs. If you really were teaching African American studies to an Ivy League, and 9 times out of 10, the Ivy Leagues are what? Almost 75 to 85% white. How can you not be the champion of the disenfranchisement of black males? See, a lot of us need to be very careful, because a lot of what we have in our lives and what we stand up for, we're going to be called bullshit. It's funny. I'll read this little. I'll play the Jim Crow Joe tape since everybody wants to hear it. I'm going to read this article. On May 29th, 2020, while on CNN's New Day, Jones commented, "It's not the white racist who's in the Ku Klux Klan that we have to worry about. Ooh. It's the white liberal Hillary Clinton supporter walking her dog in Central Park who would tell you right now, people like that, oh, I don't see race. Race is no big deal to me. I see us all as the same. I give to charities, but the minute she sees a black man who does not appear to respect, or who she has the slight against who has a slight thought against, she weaponized race like she's been trained by the Aryan Nation." Oh, really? Oh, really? Oh, really? But you cried. See how shit comes to bite you in your ass? That's only May 29th of this year. Oh, we'll get to Clarence Thomas in a minute. But if you like Clarence Thomas or not, a lot of chickens are gonna, if they bring that damn election to the Supreme Court, you're gonna have about 4 motherfuckers with an axe to grind for Biden. You better believe that. Better believe that. Think about it. He's referring to Kearns, but once again, civil rights lawyer doesn't want to talk about the disenfranchisement of the black community. Give me a big ass wolf. You ready for this Jim Crow Joe racist history of Biden? You asked for it. We're going to give it to you.
We already have a nigger mayor. We don't need any more nigger big shots.
I learned a lot. And I learned that, and Corn Pop was a bad dude.
I think the two-party system is good for the South and good for the Negro, good for the black in the South. Other than the fact that they still call me boy, I think they've changed their mind. If Haiti just quietly sunk into the Caribbean or rose up 300 feet, It wouldn't matter a whole lot. Is it because blacks are involved in Haiti?
It was old media that got him in trouble. Personal comments he made about another White House hopeful, Senator Barack Obama.
I mean, you got the first sort of mainstream African American who was articulate and bright and clean and nice looking guy. I mean, that's a storybook, man.
He's going to let the big banks once again write their own rules. Unchain Wall Street. They're going to put you all back in chains. We have this notion that somehow if you're poor, you cannot do it. Poor kids are just as bright and just as talented as white kids.
It's a long way until November. We got more questions.
You got more questions, but I tell you, if you have a problem figuring out whether you're for me or Trump, and you ain't black.
It don't have nothing to do with Trump. It has to do with the fact I want something for my community. I would love to see
Take a look at my record, man. I have a record that is second to none. The NAACP's endorsed me every time I've run. I mean, come on. Take a look at the record.
Come on, baby. Let's invest.
Joe has a terrible history in the black community, and everybody just loves him because he's the fluffy old guy.
Former Vice President Joe Biden, he's run for president twice before, unsuccessfully. He's never before been the front runner. Now that he is towering over all the other declared Democratic candidates, his almost 5 decades in public life are getting some real scrutiny. On top of that list, his record on civil rights during his younger days as a U.S. Senator. CNN's Jeff Zeleny has exclusively obtained some letters written by Biden himself.
Joe Biden is coming back as a solo act.
I'm ready to go.
With his long record facing a new look under the spotlight of the 2020 campaign.
Gentlemen and ladies of the Senate.
One chapter receiving fresh scrutiny comes from his earliest years in the Senate, when he strongly opposed mandatory school busing. It was designed to achieve integration and a more equitable education. What's less known is how he followed the lead of some of the Senate's most fervent segregationists. In a series of never-before-published letters reviewed by CNN, the strength of Biden's opposition to busing comes into sharper focus. On March 25, 1977, Biden wrote, "My bill strikes at the heart of the injustice of court-ordered busing. It prohibits the federal courts from disrupting our educational system." Biden sought and received support from Mississippi Senator James Eastland, the Democratic chairman of the Judiciary Committee, and a leading symbol of Southern resistance to desegregation. He frequently spoke of blacks as, quote, an inferior race. Eastland and others were partners on several of Biden's anti-busing bills. On June 30th, 1977, Biden wrote, "Dear Mr. Chairman, I want you to know that I very much appreciate your help during this week's committee meeting in attempting to bring my anti-busing legislation to a vote." Then in 1978, Biden again asked Eastland to put his anti-busing bill before the full Senate, writing, "Your participation in floor debate would be welcome." Ronnie Dunn is a professor at Cleveland State University who co-wrote the book Boycotts, Busing, and Beyond.
Those letters I find somewhat surprising given Senator Biden's or Vice President Biden's current position and potential candidacy for the presidency and his position as a liberal. Those are issues that he's obviously going to have to answer for.
You said surprising. Surprising in what way?
Well, the fact that he would solicit the support of a staunch segregationist, James Eastland, as well as Jesse Helms, introducing legislation as opposing busing at that time.
Now to the race for 2020 this morning and new backlash against former Vice President Joe Biden. He's refusing to apologize as he faces growing criticism over comments he made about being able to work with others in Washington. But his examples were segregationist senators 40 years ago.
Apologize for what?
Refusing to apologize for touting his ability to find common ground with senators he disagreed with, even segregationists. Biden is facing sharp criticism. At a fundraiser Tuesday, Biden describing Senator Herman Talmadge of Georgia as one of the meanest guys I ever knew, but adding, well, guess what? At least there was some civility. We got things done. And recalling Senator James Eastland of Mississippi, Biden said, he never called me boy. He always called me son. Biden's 2020 rival, Senator Cory Booker, demanding an apology.
That somebody running for president of the United States, somebody running to be the leader of our party, should know that using the word boy in the way he did can cause hurt and pain. Vice President Biden shouldn't need this lesson.
Now, Biden actually took it a step further, saying that it was Senator Cory Booker who owes him the apology.
Cory should apologize.
I was actually very, it was hurtful
To hear you talk about the reputations
That's
of
Kamala,
two
if you didn't know.
United States senators who built their reputations and career on the segregation of race in this country. And it was not only that, but you also worked with them to oppose busing. And, you know, there was a little girl in California who was part of the second class to integrate her public schools. And she was bused to school every day. And that little girl was me. To coddle the reputation.
Pause. Wasn't she raised in Canada with her East Indian mother? But I'll continue.
Of segregationists, of people who, if they had their way, I would literally not be standing here as a member of the United States Senate. Is, I think, it's just, it's misinformed and it's wrong.
But Biden is not backing down.
Apologize for what? It doesn't matter whether or not they're the victims of society. The end result is they're about to knock my mother on the head with a lead pipe, shoot my sister, beat up my wife, take on my sons. So I don't want to ask what made them do this. They must be taken off the street. Increase the penalties. Increase them. I would put the son of a gun in jail. Put them to death.
From the crack epidemic of the 80s to the crime wave of the 90s to the post 9/11 war on terror, throughout his career, Biden has represented the Democratic Party consensus, shifting his views to fit whatever best serves his own political career. Over his 44 years in the Senate and then as vice president, Biden was a leading architect of today's criminal justice system, which contributed to mass incarceration and the police misconduct that protesters are fighting back against today.
Biden crime bill, the Biden crime bill, the Biden crime bill. Hell, we've had crime bills coming out our ears. Every major crime bill since 1976, every minor crime bill has had the name of the Democratic senator from the state of Delaware, Joe Biden. You got a gun, you commit a felony, 10 years. We already have it 5 years. Minimum mandatory. Judge can't say, you know, you had it in your pocket, you never intended to use it, we're only going to give you 1 year. Judge has to say 5 years. Well, he wants to make it 10 or 20 or 60. We can work that out.
He wanted to remove judicial discretion for those who, quote, don't meet the middle-class criteria of susceptibility to rehabilitation.
They are beyond the pale, many of those people. They literally have not been socialized. They are in jail. Away from my mother, your husband, our families.
The Biden-Thurmond Violent Crime Control Act of 1991 would have increased the maximum sentence for 44 crimes to include the death penalty.
A wag in the newspaper recently wrote, Biden has made it a death penalty offense for everything but jaywalking. I'm going to make it for 46 crimes. Biden says make it for 51. We're going to get tough.
Then he presented the final version of the legislation.
60 new death penalties, brand new, 60. There are 70 additional enhancements of penalties, i.e. you go to jail longer.
After his disastrous 1987 presidential campaign, Biden had staged his political comeback, in part by becoming a media darling on issues of policing and crime. And he led the fight to pass the landmark 1994 crime bill under Bill Clinton.
When I wrote the original bill that started this whole process, the so-called Biden crime bill, I didn't call a liberal confab and write it. I didn't call any big society people and write it. I called the cops. A Democratic president wants 100,000 cops. A Democratic president wants to build 125,000 new prison cells. That's the secret. That somehow the Republicans tried to make the crime bill tougher. I say poppycock. They didn't make anything tougher. Found out that this midnight basketball isn't getting them together a bunch of jive folks living in their city to do, try to see if they can be Michael Jordan. When they found out they were keeping schools open, So gangs come off streets instead of out raping my mother, marauding me, robbing the local store. They're in a gymnasium. My daughter will be safer. My wife will be safer. My mother will be safer. And I will be safer. And I will be happy.
Never again should Washington put politics and party above law and order.
Along with several laws passed in the 80s, the 1994 crime bill drove up the local, state, and federal prison populations, and it tarnished the reputations of Biden and Bill Clinton, who signed it into law.
Hey, Clinton! Do you want to take pictures of my people here? We're still in jail for what you did!
When Biden ran for president in 2008, he told the New York Times that he knew more people would be locked up across the board.
You ashamed of that bill?
Not at all. In fact, I drafted the bill. We had enormous success.
The mass incarceration created by Biden's lock-em-up policies ripped apart vulnerable communities and families for a generation, and the federal funding streams and law enforcement infrastructure it created continue to hinder reform efforts.
I'll do my job and I will take responsibility.
You ashamed of that bill?
Not at all.
And we're back. You know what's amazing? How many of these people who voted for him are dancing in the fucking streets? But yet, you can call Charles Faulkner Jr. an asshole, call him a smart ass, call him a lot of things. Ruggedly handsome man. One thing you can't call him is a motherfucker who doesn't have proof. You seen how, but this is the guy. This is the guy. Van Jones is crying over this guy. Van Jones was at least 10 years old. At least 10 or 8 years old when Biden first went into the Senate. Let's put some shit in perspective. Biden did not give a damn about prison reform, crime reform, and I'm pretty sure he has stocks in private prisons. It's almost too good to be true. A guy like him would rather see Van Jones in prison than going to fucking Yale to get a JD. He told you several times he ain't ashamed of it. He's proud of it. Why did you have a Juris Doctorate? Shouldn't you be docked up? You got the damn WAP song in the White House. You damn right. But yet, what has the crime bill done to Black America? Rip it the hell apart. Well, I don't like to live within the confines of good or bad. I like to live in the confines of what the hell is wrong with them. Just because you have high level of education does not always qualify as being the smartest man in the room. I'm actually proud of the brother accomplishing so many great things. But like I said before, when you don't cultivate the child, that child will become an adult. And he will come back to the village to burn it down just to feel its warmth. I don't want to hear about anybody who's a civil rights lawyer. And what civil rights have you fought? When your own damn people are the ones, your men are in prison more than anybody else. I want you to think about this. Thanks to the crime bill. You had over 1 million black men in prison. Do you know what the combined, well, right now we're down to about, 700,000. Do you know what the combined number of women in prison on earth is? A little under 700,000. You have more black men in prison than in America, than the entire population of women in prison on earth. But this effeminate behavior where you're going to cry, get all emotional, tell your sons that it's hard out here. You should be scared of the big bad boogeyman. Instead of telling your sons the same lessons my father told me. Life isn't going to be shit. It's going to be hard, but you got to be stronger. I would tell you, first thing in the one, don't go to God praying for a lighter load to carry. You go to God praying for a stronger back to take up a difficult one. If you really were into an ideology just like the Great Faulkner Initiative, you wouldn't teach your sons to be afraid. You wouldn't be worried about your son not knowing what to do. Because your son would already grow up bold as a lion. He wouldn't be scared of what tomorrow brings. He will wake up saying, bring it on. And think about this. As accomplished as a man as he is, and he's scared. And he's scared. See, this is the issue that a lot of black men have when it comes to saving yourself. You lack the fortitude and you lack the goddamn courage. Real men, like over here and other channels who save themselves, take time to improve themselves, end up saving the damn community that shunned them. How the hell are you going to save yourself if you got like men like this preaching an indoctrination of fucking fear, cowardness even. It's dark day. You're crying because Joe Biden's going to save us all. Lord, Lord, Lord. Think about that. Think about that. You're basically up there hobnobbing with the power of the United States, the movers and shakers. And you crying on television? You're one of the most educated brothers in America. Think about that. Let's look at the percentage of black men with JDs. You literally have to be one of the most educated brothers in America. One of the most accomplished. And you're crying. For what? And what? Here it is. We're trying to make power moves. And you look so weak. When do you ever see any white guys crying over a political candidate who won an office? Think about that. Only 7.8% of black people are law students alone. 5% of all attorneys, 5% of all attorneys across the United States are black. Think about that. He has sons. Yes, he always talks about his sons. 5%. Around the United States, 5%. According to the U.S. Census Bureau, African Americans make up about 13% of the population, but in the U.S. prisons, they make up 38% of the inmate population. Interesting. Interesting. But yet, he doesn't see anything wrong about building more black lawyers like himself. Whatever happened to the real bold men? Mm-mm-mm. Let me see this. So how the hell do you have 5%? Ango Savage said exactly. More than most, he should realize that he represents black men as a collective and not just himself. He clearly forgot that. He made us look soft as fuck. Damn it, Don Lemon is bad enough. We know, right? Let me get you something. The population of African Americans in North Carolina is 22%, and the country is 13%. In North Carolina, the state bar reports 9% of the lawyers in North Carolina are black. Wow. Wow. Do we cultivate our own to risk it all for our own? No. We got Negroes up here crying. Oh, Joe Biden. Oh, Lord. Help me, Biden. Lord. He's going to save us. You want to look at some really crazy facts? The racial makeup of law students in ABA accredited law schools comes with close to reflecting the racial makeup of the United States population as a whole. The first pie chart shows below the total percentage breakdown of race according to the U.S. Census Bureau. Almost 60.7% white, 13.4% black. Yep, it breaks down almost evenly. Here's the crazy part, right? Hispanics, what, 18% of ethnicity? They have a bigger pool of Hispanic lawyers than we do black lawyers. And this has been your country for how long, black people? Think about this. The top 10 law schools JD enrollment by race and ethnicity. 87% of your JDs come out of Howard. He said he was fogging up his glasses. Think about that. 87% of your JDs come out of Howard University. Coming up second is Southern University with 58.68. Are you fucking serious? Well, we got brothers out there at the bottom. We got brothers out there, right? We got brothers out there who can't even go to Yale. We got brothers who can't even go to community college. Here's one. First, minority enrollment in law school is dependent on the minority enrollment in college. As a person usually can't attend law school without first graduating from college, and colleges, Black Americans are underrepresented, particularly in top colleges. Additionally, among students who started four-year public institutions, Black American students had the lowest completion rate, which is 45.9%, undergrad enrollment, and graduation rates for Hispanics, on the other hand, have exploded, but the explosion has been recent and rates still lags behind whites. As a whole, the enrollment and graduation rate of Hispanics and Blacks still lags behind whites in college. Notice the Hispanics have an explosion, but guess who you could thank for that education explosion? Come real close. It's a secret. Your first Black president, Barack Obama. Remember when he gave a lot of the illegal immigrants rights? Remember when he gave the Hispanics more rights? The only thing he gave you was hope. Second, Black Americans and Hispanics tend to score lower on the law school administration tests. For example, the mean score for African Americans was 142 in 2013 and 2014 compared to whites, 153. This creates not only an academic barriers to law school, but also financial barriers, as law schools tend to award financial aid based on LSAT scores. Remember when I said the new Jim Crow is not whites only, it's your test scores, it's your credit score? Third, even though minorities enroll in law school in decent numbers, there's still a large disparity in attrition rates between whites and non-whites, particularly among African Americans. Gee, I wonder why. For example, in 2016, white students comprised of 62% of the first-year Law Academy students and 49% of the first-year attrition. In contrast, minority students make up only 30% of the first year, but account for 44% of attrition. So, I don't know what to tell y'all. I don't know what to tell y'all. I mean, you're worried about if old Uncle Joe could just call us a nigga a little nicer, we'll be all right, and we'll pull ourselves up from our bootstraps. I'd rather deal with the person who's bombastic and he's going to give me a plan or money to do what I need to do to catch up to everybody else than to deal with somebody who tells me if I don't vote for him, I'm not black. Sorry. Anybody who doesn't like it, you could dismiss me with that bullshit. Mm-mm-mm. I tell you. Are we learning today, folks? Just let me know if you're learning something new today. And if you don't mind. Oh, what you mean next? They already took them. Let me see. Let me see. Out of America. Out of all the lawyers in America, only 4% are black male. By a show of hands, matter of fact, by a show of numbers, do you think we should be more concerned about Joe Biden and dancing in the streets? Give me a number one. Or number two, we should actually try to push our young people to get some of these elevated degrees. If you believe that, put a 2 in the chat. Think about this. Black women represent 70% or more of all black enrollments in 7 leading schools compared with 9 leading schools in the last 5 years. So 70% of the people going to college in the black community are women. How many times have I said that? Oh yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah. Here you go, Chaos. I forgot to give you this shit. Because when you know me, when I get on a roll, I get on a fucking roll. Man. See, yeah, people wonder why I'm the type of person that I am. You don't eliminate diseases by looking at the person sick. You look at the causes. What caused that sickness? Let's prevent how to get sick. And once we actually stabilize that shit, neutralize it, quarantine it, we start working on that cure. Craig Harper, what's up, boy? Woo! Straight black men are usually blue-collar workers. The steel industry should be effort. See, yes and no. My personal opinion is that a black man and a black woman should have a trade before they get a degree, because that trade will usually pay for that degree, which will keep them away from debt. See, what we need to do is have a bunch of mothers and fathers go to the Board of Education and tell them, bring fucking trades back to our high schools. You don't, your child will get their freedom papers through their own damn hands, because guess what? Your daughter has a degree in business and commerce, but she owns 5 beauty shops. Your son is a barber and an electrician by trade, but he has a degree in robotics and electrical engineering. Once again, we got to remember, we got to cultivate Charles D. Curry said, my uncle back in the early 90s was red. Everybody hated him for that, but he turned around and voted blue. And I said, what happened? And I said, what happened, Unc? You know what happened to Unc? He got tired of fighting his own damn family. Oh, yeah. And what happened to a lot of us, bruh, is that we get beaten down so much that we just don't want to carry the fight anymore. We get beaten down so much. What type of beat down, you ask? Beaten down like this by your family.
Mm-hmm.
That's how you get beat down by your family. Instead of actually saying, I'm voting red because of this, we get beat down because of that.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of actually being men of power and men of direction. Yeah, but if the left let the immigrants come out and the union come out of the vote out the unions and our trade certificates are useless once we stuck with the money loan. See, the beautiful thing about a trade is you can work 24/7.
Yep.
Under the table, over the table, hell, you make a new damn table if you choose to.
Mm-hmm.
If necessary. And
Or
then,
tear the table up and build a new one.
for example, if we get more kids, more black males to be mechanics, and we run up the industry, excuse me, you're gonna have to do business with us. You would think. As many black men in prison now, why don't we have a surplus of lawyers?
It's a good question.
Do me a favor. Try to find its first top 3 degrees that black men and black women get. If you could get each gender.
Hold on. Let me do this. Let's doing something. I'm multitasking. I'm trying to create some images for slideshow. But what you want me to look for? Let me Google it. Let's look. I should go black demographics, but this would be better. All right. The top degrees that black people receive?
Yes.
I don't know if this is good. American college majors and RNCD. Okay. Let's check if this is the one. Oh! Well, let me go to my studio. Hold on. This might be a good one. Share screen.
Deep.
We're going to examine this.
Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, folks.
Okay, I'm gonna zoom in. Let's zoom in. Let's see what the zoom button. Sorry, oh yeah, you might have to center the screen, push us to the left, all the way left.
Oh yeah, we are gone. You got the full screen, dude.
All right, let's look at this. Bachelor's degrees earned by African Americans by major. This is but APA physics. Bachelor's degree earned by African Americans. It shows here from computer science, biology, chemistry, engineering, math, statistics, physics, earth science. This is a span of the last 2 years because it stopped at 2018. What you notice?
We're not in a lot of STEM fields.
Now, STEM is a separate in its own degree, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I don't see
Well,
STEM here.
STEM is supposed to be the sciences. It stands for science, technology, um, mathematics. I forget, like stuff like that. Mechanical sciences, like STEM. Like anytime
Okay.
you have some.
Hmm. So if I could measure this, here Earth science is 2%, rarely steady growth. 6% or close to 6%, you see physics. You see engineer, which should be a little higher, but is what it is. Same percentage, roughly over close to 6%. Did not steadily increase. So as I'm looking up to 2018, it's almost even, except 10%, and that's computer science.
Mm-hmm.
So this is for the last 2 years. Black people, our students, males and females, because African American. So I guess it didn't go by gender. We could know on the average, we could say that mostly black males are doing computer science. And if we're on computer science, because we all know that it was going to take off because we're in more of a technical age dealing with technology. So you have to know some various coding and all that stuff. So the science computer part is there. But let's go and find another study. Okay. Bachelor's degree earned. Let's go to African American college majors. I'm not sure my screen is still sharing. Let me check, make sure.
Matter of fact, go to that one because I was on that one. Scroll down.
You're on this one?
Yeah,
all right, good.
Down.
Let's see. African American college major earnings. All right. Represents 7% of STEM, very low. Highest paying detailed major among African Americans is pharmacy, pharmaceutical, science, administration. Median income is A4K, depending what state you live at. They don't include that. 20% of African Americans majors in human service are community organization, which has the second lowest median earning, 39%.
If you see a purple picture, it's going to be on your far.
This one?
Yeah, click on that one. Oh, y'all going to learn some shit today, Negroes.
Yep. Can anybody see it? You see this right here? I'm about to zoom this in. Let me see if it can zoom. Well, actually, it could. Okay. Let's go down.
Should be able to click on it because I'm
no. There's a chart.
Yep.
Right here. Chemical engineer, electronic engineer, mechanical engineer, computer engineer, civil engineer, nursing general. Computer science is what you see. Majority of them are tackling. But as you go further down, and pharmacy is, if I last time I checked, anybody can remember what that was again? I'm trying to remember what that was.
Pharmaceuticals or
yep,
or science.
That's the highest.
It's actually a STEM.
Okay.
It would actually become a STEM, like because people like Nicole Ali and others are in that field.
Yeah. Too bad Nicole's not around, man, because she would sit there and then explain for herself. Hold on, let me see. Support. Let me do this. Wait. All right, let me continue. Okay. Let's look further. Let's do some more digging. There you go. What happened? Why is that? Let me check. Something happened. Oh, okay. It went back. Okay, so as we go down, look like there's another graph. Let me see if I can zoom in this one, because this one looks like it is showing something. This is okay. Major detail fields of study. These are the earning numbers. Can y'all see that?
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Business, it varies. Communication journalism, not that great, unless you're doing it by yourself. Computer statistics, mathematician, 84K, that's the highest. Education. And my problem with education, I see a lot more men and women be teachers because there's not really no money. Art will tell you personally. That's why you don't see a lot of black men and women in teaching in schools. Health, up there. Humanitarian liberal arts, trial arts, consumer survey, recreation, right here. Law and public policy, physics and science, psychology and social work, which I project it if you have your own firm, that varies. Social science. Let's go down. All right, let's do another search engine. We go back from this. This is good. All right, let's go down. Fact Fast degree conference by race and sex. Let's see what's in this one. Let me see what Craig Harper said. When the United States put out a shitty product, it drops the value of the price, which is why illegals work for cheap. They lack the training and skills, but just enough to put out a shitty product. Of course.
Of course.
Craig also said Joe ran this same game for 8 years with Obama. What makes you think he's not going to run it again with Kamala? Let's not talk about these empty prisons. He'll have another 3 strikes law under another act. It's too many empty prisons, which fucks up stock. And now who's better to fill them up than Joe and Kamala? You know, the top cops, right? I told you, man, they're going to make a bigger return than Jordan when he came back to the Bulls after playing baseball. Matter of fact, I told you this crime bill is going to make a bigger return than Edge of the Royal Rumble this year and a bigger pop. That's just what it's going to be.
Charles, you see this? This is the digest of education statistics. This is doctorate degrees. So let me go back because this is doctorate degrees and it's separating with a good number. Let's see if I can find a 4-year degree. Associate's degree. Here it's bachelor's. Because most people get bachelor's, so we can't focus on master's and doctorate. That's
Lord, I gotta get my bachelor's degree.
Yeah. Let's zoom in. I want people to see this and contribute if y'all can. This right here is a bachelor's degree conference on post-secondary institution by race, ethnicity, sex, students, etc. This goes by the range from years 1976 up to 2018. Now, why is 1976? Because 1975 is when they introduced special education. And not only special education, but they fully, completely integrate all the schools before affirmative action. The same way how they first integrate what? The military, right? Then after military, what they did? They start slowly integrating schools, right? Can y'all remember that? So let's go down. We're not gonna focus on this is dealing with all race, this is dealing with all genders total. As you see, it totals total of whites, blacks, and Hispanics right here. And this is degrees percentage. Let's go down. Let's go with the males part. Let's see. Go down. We're gonna go up to 2017 to 2018. And let me follow up what I'm looking at. As you see, is separated from races, whites, blacks, Hispanics, etc. Non-residential to African American Indians. So this is resident, non-resident. It's kind of hard because it's like a long graph, but we go by the numbers that here was dealing with everybody. The total is roughly look like 100 or 1,980,000. Up here on that same graph, whites compile
numbers of degrees off conference citizen, they only get like this together 1,189 point something. I think this is deal with number of degrees conference U.S. citizens, permanent residents. This is when they're residents in the university. Percentage distributed degrees conference U.S. citizens and permanent residents on the other side, where the same thing separating from white and black. You see a percentage of 63%, 10%. So 60% is white from right here. And blacks 10, Hispanics 14% from right. And as we go down, we'll focus only on the males with bachelor's degrees. So you can tell from the black males, because right here is black males, mind you. You only see 516,000. And on the other side, if we go by percentage, that's like 0.89. It's kind of hard because this is like more of the numbers are spread out. So to really read this. But like I said, if anybody has description, Charles, better off just leave the links for y'all to look at for yourself. Female in the female department now, as we look down females, as you know, women are going to be in school more than us in America. White females, let me see. White females, okay, yes, white females is 672,000 with degrees in resident. Black, I think it was blacks females are 124,000. Hispanics 162. And if I go up, so I gotta change. This is white people. This is us, bro. From 2007 to 2018. One with degrees of non-resident. This is black males. I apologize, guys. This is the number. 70,316. Our female counterparts is 104,000. And if we look at the percentage roughly is, 8%. For, yeah. So right here, as you look at the more numbers, it makes sense. But go on. Let me go back.
See, a lot of these places, like, let's say, roughly the reason why you have a lot more black women getting degrees than black men. One of the reasons why is because when Clinton did the welfare reform, one of the reasons why you had to take your ass to school. You get a lot more benefits if you had kids, if you're a single woman, than being a single man without kids. Where when we got our educational benefits, we had to go to the military or athletics. Not saying black females never went to athletics or the military. There's quite a few, but a lot of it came from the benefits that a lot of black men were not able to receive.
Yeah.
Am I going to blame that for them? No. The only part that I would blame it, stop trying to beat your men over the head for things that you can get that we can't. That we had to fight like hell. They said they had to fight for educational benefits. Let's look at this. You were always the ones in the slave house who were allowed to count, besides the one old ass Negro. You were always the one who had to count because they didn't want your ass killing everybody when it came to measuring and cooking. They gave a lot more benefits. The thing that I want a lot of black women to do is to, like, hey, tag team with your men and be like, look, since they giving us these benefits, let's take advantage of them.
Yeah.
And let's monopolize this shit. So, back to the point that I originally had. Bless you.
Yeah.
You can see just by a little digging, 5 minutes worth of digging, maybe 2. Am I afraid of a Trump administration? Is my son sad about that? Hell no. What he'll be sad about is when he doesn't have the opportunity to make a living. When he doesn't have the opportunity to basically hold down his own and his family. So I'm gonna open it up a little bit.
Okay.
See who wants to come out. Get their thoughts about this effemination. Like, I'm sorry, I'm tired of seeing a bunch of black men cry over a bunch of people who wouldn't cry over you. They don't like me anymore, boss. You see how ridiculous this shit becomes? So what do you think about that Van Jones shit, Chaos?
I wish I was able to play the video and see this no good nigga just sit there and just tear it up for a Caucasoid. You know, it's pretty pathetic, bro. I mean, that's man. No man want to see a grown man cry over pretty much. Matter of fact, if you're gonna cry, at least maybe your parents, something, or somebody that's really valuable. But to cry over another oppressor, I mean, that's where we at. But you see, like I said, you know, parents raise weak children. You know.
Oh my God!
Shout out to you guys, man. Shout out to you, whatever.
Top degrees at Black people. Yeah, how you doing, man?
But Negroes, this like the Van Jones thing. That's what Negroes do.
What's that?
I don't know what the. No, that's what Negroes do. They cry like that when it comes to the, like you said, the oppressor. Like it's like their children. It's like their. It's like it's always been like a children parent dynamic when you talk about Black people in America with whites. It's like they're always they're perpetual kids. So the crying was like the slave master has returned home, and he's so happy that the slave master has come through that gate. You know, that's giving him his stability back. And it's not about his independence or freedom. It's about, well, you know, like a Joe Biden is president, so now he's in tears. You know, and it's like he doesn't even care how it's going to affect him because he just, as long as his dad's home. That's
Van Jones is beta. Van Jones is beta. He always has been beta, and he will continue to be beta.
Of course, he's beta. Like I showed you, only what 4% in this country of people, black men who are in his position, who are lawyers. Then when you look at black men becoming lawyers, it's even lower than that.
You know what? No, go ahead. No, I'll wait, Charles. I want to make a point.
And you know what's scary? Is that instead of being the example that your daddy made it, you're going to have to fight to get it, like I did. Like, the motherfucker went to Yale to get his law degree. Yale. He didn't go to some, like, you know, rinky-dink ass college or nothing. Yale. And he was the go ahead.
No, that's another point you just made. Because I always wondered, like, you went to Yale, why you over here, you know, so concerned about? No, I'm not saying you shouldn't be, but it's like you position yourself on these networks like you're some spokesman for black men. Your experiences are so far removed from theirs, yet you can't make it within that white reality of society. You know, that Yale crowd, they don't want to hear what you got to say. So you'll come on MSNBC and you're speaking for black men. But my thing is this, guys like him, and this is the problem, that those tears that my daddy's home, that never happens for black men. They don't cry for black men. So he's really a female. Really, if you want to be fun, he's just a female.
He is, bro, and I concur with everything you're saying for the simple fact I've been following this cat for a minute. This cat is gonna marry to a white woman. This white woman divorced him, took everything he had, and he still stayed effeminate about it, man. He's a walking, talking beta male coon. I don't pay him no mind no more.
Yeah.
Like what kills me is this. Well, of course, you know he wasn't gonna date no sister. Of course not. When he's up there at Yale, oh no, he's out there at Yale. He's gone off the bush. No.
Yeah.
So what kills me is that don't poison your sons and thinking they're weak. You're supposed to embolden them. You're supposed to galvanize them to think that they are powerful beyond comprehension. Okay. You want to put this fear, and see, I can't talk about the ladies today because at least a mother will tell their sons, especially a black mother, you better take your ass outside and back out there to fight. They picking on you, you better go back out there and fight.
Be better.
At least she will say that. But this ultra fucking wet, moist towelette I'm trying every time. I'm trying to get this down. He reminds me of Jimmy Swaggart. I have said, like you cry for, I got audited. Like, really?
Mm-hmm.
Man the fuck up. Man the fuck up. Well, I don't get what you're saying. Well, I feel that it's a safer country. Here's a question, right? Them same Muslims, right? Why do they band together and they get property and your people don't? Why do them immigrants come over here and steal jobs away? Do you cry for them when they make it?
Nope.
Well, I mean, I don't know how religious you guys are, but down like where I'm from, he comes across as a church Negro, and not to say that's not valid. Like you're a religious, God help you know. Not trying to challenge anybody's faith. I'm just saying that church Negro thinking where you want to suffer for someone else. Like, hey, don't hit him on his back with those chains. Whip my back open, and God will, I'll suffer for him. So the Latino or whatever the other group, they can get their terrorist organization, all that shit, their money by the neighborhood, and the nigga is constantly taking the whips on his back. That's why he came across with me, because he kept putting all these other groups ahead of him. I was like, what's wrong with this brother, man? Now, one time, if you listen to him, whoa, shit, goddamn, knocked over a few things, but he's still living. Now, one time, did you hear him say, what about those young black boys in the street? And you're not going to hear him say it. What about the young black boys that Biden locked up? Not even distribution, but just possession. Just holding shit. You're getting 20 years.
Mm-hmm.
Think about that. Like, all of a sudden now, all the video that I played, all the tapes that Chaos played, I'm like, none of that counts to you Negroes? Oh, you need to bring proof. Okay. Like my girl Danielle will tell you, when you're a cop, you got to bring proof. Okay, I'll bring the proof, regardless of how people feel about it. And then when you notice about black people, I bet you if I brought up all the shit about Joe, all the shit about Kamala, he will either dismiss it or say it's not true.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, this is a reason why I believe we should keep a close, tight knit to black people who go to college. because that indoctrination is strong with those Negroes.
Well, to be honest with you, Charles, that's what is supposed to happen. Once you go through more than, I guess, 12 years of institutionalization, college is the last road of full programming. And I'll tell you personally, a, a good portion of our people can't understand the programming itself because a lot of them, depending how their upbringings or what their view or how they've been groomed in reality, they're not gonna see through the programming at first. Some get out of it, but majority of them don't because they feel after they go through 4 years of college and maybe go further in their education, they will totally believe themselves that they have arrived. And anybody else that does not reach that same pinnacle like them, you are beneath them. You're dumb. You're slow. Hell, it creates a certain entitlement. Like I'm betting you. Just like you hear a black woman say, "You're not on my level because he did not go to 4 years of schooling."
Well, chaos. Call me the dumbest, smartest some bitch in the world because I'd rather have not kept attending college and racked up a 80, 90, $100,000 debt that I could barely get back than do what they did. I'm a tradesman and a contractor by trade, and I do decent, and I don't have no complaints. And like I said, I ain't never went out looking for somebody to fuck them for their degree.
Yeah.
I mean, hey, I could do the I could do the Kamala Harris. I keep sleeping my way to the top. Give me what you got. Give me what you got. You know, what makes it pitiful is that too many men and women are not going to see the writing on the wall.
Mm-hmm.
I don't give a damn if you're Christian. I don't give a damn if you're whatever. If you're Muslim, if you're Jewish. I don't care what your background is. I don't care what your political background is. Because at the end of the day, you could be driving trucks down the street. Are you still gonna be treated? Are you gonna be treated like one big nigga? Unfortunately, we are. So you realize politically, we are all the fuck we got.
I just don't understand how they can be scared of big black niggas when they got most of the guns. That's the oxymoronic part about it.
Well, the reason why they're scared is because it all goes back to Birth of a Nation. It all goes back to that shit. When Birth of a Nation came out, it revolutionized stereotypes.
Mm-hmm.
And what happened was you had a lot of people out there believing this is to be true.
Mm-hmm.
And instead of being intellectuals about it, black people were taught to hold tight to their stereotypes. Think about it. They get into an argument. What's the first thing they're going to tell you? I'm from Baltimore, bitch.
Mm-hmm.
I'm from New York. I'm from some area that's so terrible that you probably don't want to go there. And I moved over here because I didn't even want to live in that motherfucker anymore. But we hold tight to those stereotypes. You don't see white people putting out their worst as their best and brightest. Unless it's something about comedy, you'll see that.
Mm-hmm.
And it goes to show you, it's like, yo, when you look at it, we need to actually start to represent ourselves in a way that we control the narrative. We control how we want to be seen. We control how we want to be educated.
Vote with our feet, Charles. That means vote with our feet.
Exactly. And I don't care what your political party, what your stance is. I don't care what that is. You need to vote together. Well, he's an atheist. He's this. I don't care what they're gonna do in the next couple of months. Fuck years. Next couple of months, they're gonna do some real wild shit.
Mm-hmm.
They're gonna do some real wild shit. They're gonna do some real wild shit to good black people. And unfortunately, you're not gonna be able to do anything. You need to defend yourselves properly. And the only way you're gonna defend yourself is governing your own families, your own men, your women. Why don't you create your own educational system? You can't keep sending your children to the system and expecting them to be loyal to you.
I agree.
That's a failure. I'm so sorry, they don't mean nothing. Shit. Everybody's gonna do well and better than you. They'll all sing this kumbaya shit. But guess what they'll also do? They'll also stab you in the back and take your benefits, like my man Craig Harper said about immigrants over here. Why do you think Maxine Waters is smiling in the faces the Hispanics?
Well, that's our district, you know, but majority of her district is Latinos or whatever. But you know, we had a brother out here, and it's sad too, because it's not even no disrespect to the brother. This one dude, he was like a Mexican dude. He had started this like this nonprofit for children, right? And he was like early education and shit. Like you bring them to the daycare and shit, and he was trying to get them acclimated to, you know, school and learning and shit and languages. Young, I'm talking about when they were young. I'm talking about 5, 6, 7, like that, right? And it was going. And this brother, and you know, no disrespect to the brother, man. All we can do is, for lack of a better word, is pray for the brother, I guess. He went out and he went about a bunch of big wheels and bicycles and toys, and he was talking about how kids need to play. And people were saying, well, you know, they need to learn. He said, no, they're children. They need to play. You know, God, you know, he was Bible, scripture, Bible, scripture. And it was like, bro, we don't even get it. It's like, man, we got to go forward. Like, maybe that's the way you were raised. Like, you was raised with toys and shit. And, you know, but it's like they're actually pushing kids now. He couldn't get that through his head. He thought that was like wrong to make those kids like, you know, like to try to get them going early in life. And I'm troubled by that. That was just sad because he was an old church nigga, you know, who was just the times had passed him by, man. But he, you know, he wanted to try to help children, but his ways, he didn't understand. They were outdated. Just throwing that out there, man, if it means anything, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's where we stand. A lot of us, you know, we can't be serious when you know you're talking about like progress going forward and stuff as a collective. It's just it's gonna be different. We're gonna have to make a lot of changes, and that's why my issue with Hollywood and the rappers and stuff. You know, these rappers, like that. I mean, look, they're rappers. I don't have a problem with them dudes making their money and stuff, but they don't speak for black people. Neither does Van Jones either. That's what I'm saying. So we've got to have people who speak out for black people who we are in link with and who also know of our experiences. They can't be talking about, you know, they're a rapper. They you know, Cardi B, she got some hits. Well, I mean, that's fine. And I think that's why black people get neglected so much because they say, well, what you want? Oh, what you want out of the deal? Biden, what you want out of the deal? Oh, you want some shorter sentences? You want some more food stamps? Okay, I got you. When the Jews come to the table, what you want? We need this section of land in the Gaza Strip. We need you to move the embassy. We need you to do these things. We need this amount of money. Okay, we're gonna get it done. That's what I'm saying. So they don't take Negroes when we say this stuff. They don't take Negroes seriously because we're not asking for nothing.
That's how we break the cycle with us.
Man, reindoctrinate them, bro. Reindoctrinate
them. We do ask for something. We ask for hope. We ask for hot sauce. We ask if they could play a little music.
We ask for crumbs. We ask for crumbs instead of things of substance.
At least you get crumbs. We just get. We either want hope or we want some niggatry.
Yeah, Jay-Z. Can Jay-Z come to your inauguration? I'm good. If I can do the, if I can do the bop or whatever, the WAP, and that's it. That's all we want. And other groups look at that. They look at that. That's all they want. So look, why don't you give us some empowerment zones? We can go in these neighborhoods, tax-free. Give us 5 years tax-free. We'll open up barbershops. We'll open up fast food places. We'll open up neighborhoods. Businesses in these black neighborhoods, right? Mm-hmm. While all they want to do is dance or do something stupid, And they say, hey, well, we don't want to do that. As a matter of fact, we're gonna put our kids in early education or place them where at 3 and 4 and 5 they're learning different languages, and they're going through grades. Mm-hmm. While this old pastor, right, talking about a bunch of fucking toys, and not understanding that you're missing the point. It's like, bro, you cannot be that behind the times. But he is.
The Lord said that you shouldn't study. You should get that. You should get that toys, that PlayStation.
No, you gotta get that Xbox Series.
We gotta get that Xbox Series, even though that shit is garbage. Matter of fact, we're gonna get you some. We're gonna get you some. We're gonna get you some toys. We're gonna let you get some music, some dance arounds. We don't need you to be educated, because if your ass is actually educated, you might not donate back to the church.
Mm-hmm. That's what that man said. It's so simplistic, but that's what happens. That's going on as we speak.
Mm-hmm. Think about it. You ain't getting. You think you gonna get some money out? Oh, nigga, no, nigga.
Yeah, they don't want that. Charles, that's where you're going to start a fight. You want to see Negroes fight? Ask the white man for some money. You're going to get punched right in the mouth. What's wrong with you? You disrespectful this good white man right here. How dare you? You disrespecting this man. Ask him for some money, He go to every other community, right? Asian community, they want that paper. Okay, we're going to put 500,000. We're going to give you 1.5 million here. Okay, you want the national, out down here, Italian Day, okay, we're gonna give you 200,000. You can rent these parks, put your
and the white man fork up that money like it ain't nothing. Let us ask for something. He get red in the face.
No, Negroes don't want that, but I'm saying it's something about us where we don't want it. It's like if they were to give us something, it's bad. It's like we want to suffer. Like I saw this guy, I think it was in the Philippines. I guess he was a Christian. That's what he said he was. He was cutting his back open with a cat of nine tails, modern day. He was opening up his back because he was trying to like sacrifice. He said he wanted to show whatever you call that walk, the Jesus when he was walking. He was trying to reenact that. Right?
He was trying to walk the Calvary.
Yeah, he was doing it live. And they do it all the time. And I said, these dudes are insane. I said, but he believed that. And I said, that's the way we are. We want to suffer. They said, well, how about we help the community out with some schools and give you some parks? No. We want to sleep out. We want to sleep in these, pits and these slave tents and be niggas because this is our lot in life. And that's what it's the way it's supposed to be. But the good things belong to you, that side of town. Educate your kids. Our kids are going to be playing with toys till they're 12 years old. We'll throw them in school, and then we're going to throw them in, in the warehouses, or we're going to throw them in these minimum wage jobs. And that's just the way it is. And we got basketball at the NBA to watch. We can wish we could play NBA. We can watch it to rap. But all the other stuff, working, getting good job, that don't belong to us. No, wait, that's actually how they think.
Wait a minute. You a crazy nigga. Who the fuck said we gonna give you minimum wage? These immigrants can work for less than that. Your black ass can work less than that. Who? Stop being such an uppity nigga.
Now you know what you're gonna be called.
Seriously,
No,
The goal
very,
is to get us back in those fields where the Mexicans been picking all that fruit, but they know that we got too much sense, too much pride, too much dignity, too much intestinal fortitude to even say, look at here. If you're not gonna pay me $35 an hour to get out in that field, I'm not gonna do it. Period. Not nobody on this panel's gonna do it. And that's why that white man said, hey, I'll go get all these Mexicans across the border, come over here and do it for like $4 an hour, $5 an hour. Because think about it, they making 6, 7, 8 cents an hour down there, South America, Mexico. They happy than a sissy with a bag of dicks in church on first Sunday to come over here and do that. And they've been doing it.
And let me tell you what they do. They come, they get a strip of land. And they got radio station is all Latino, and more power to it. I don't have no problem with that. But this is what I'm talking about. What Negroes do. Negroes, if Charles start up a little after hours spot, jazz hour, Thursday, Fridays, Negroes gonna go over there and they gonna shoot that up. They gonna tear that down. They gonna shoot it up. They gonna cuss him out. They gonna light it up. It's gonna be closed within 6 months. The Mr. Latino, he opened up the taco hour Thursday nights. Negroes gonna have their finest clothes on. They're gonna be like they in church. They're gonna be quiet. They're gonna give them all their money.
All well behaved and shit. Man.
Yep.
Sicking the shit out of me to see that type of shit, bro.
Yep, happening everywhere you go. It's happening right now. It's crazy too. I said, well, how come y'all niggas act right when y'all go here? When y'all go this town, this dude, y'all don't clown for him. But if y'all go to this brother who trying to open up a thing, y'all tear that man shit up. Y'all literally just destroy, you just shoot it up and kill each other and cuss everybody out up in there. This shit crazy, man. And then, oh yeah, I've been told that they said don't say nothing too. I said, man, what about the like the immigration? I said, like they go to college for free, man. So what about this? Shut up. And I was this woman, this sister. She said, shut up. I said, what you mean? She said, you being racist. That's how being racist. I said, well, how come I can't go to college for free? Shut up.
Hey, Margaret Sanger in that feminist movement, they done reprogrammed and reindoctrinate our black women. We go fight the fight. Our feet don't fit them limbs. Our shoes don't fit. Our feet don't fit them shoes, but we go put our feet on that perch and we go fight that battle for them no matter what. All the while it's been setting them back first and us back tenfold. They don't care. They don't. Just as long as they can get a piece of a shine of a glory like silk and diamond in them. It's all crazy.
But I'm saying that's what with us, it's like I said, no, that's not me. I'm saying to me, a lot of Negroes, they want to suffer. No, I'm gonna take that back. They don't want to suffer, but they suffer. I mean, it's like the things they do. It's like, why don't you like dude had a club. He was having a special on marriages and all that. But you niggas tore it up. Like, why do you niggas want to suffer? Why do you want to suffer? They don't want no money. You can't open up no business. No, they don't.
The answer is they like that. It's like them watching cockroaches. They know they don't want to be around cockroaches, but they done seen them so much for so long. It's like it's second nature to them, bro. It's second. Oh, the cockroach is just right there. Oh well, that's right. The quality they want to have.
You're right.
So,
no,
you gotta realize a lot of people just want to suffer just a little bit less in their obsolescence.
Mm-hmm.
Another thing too, Charles. I know you guys know this one too. You got 4 kids. One of the kids be smart. Just pick that thing up. I'm talking about despite all the stuff, the late going to school, they be smart. They go in first grade, and the teacher said, damn, this boy, they contact the parents, said, I think your son's a genius. I mean, he's just killing the curriculum. We want to test him. You know how Negroes are. No. And then, come on, boy. You're not meant to do that. I don't want him like that. I want you to be just like them other niggas. It's like, what you saying? I'm like, what are you saying? No, I'm telling you, bro, I've had these conversations. My son, I don't want him to be different. I want him just like them. It's like, bro, you're trying Xbox and bullshit, and when he can be progressing.
You are describing the classic, which me and Charles and everybody else have discussed it over and over. You are describing the classic crab in the barrel syndrome mentality disorder. That's what it is. That's what you're giving the definition of, but you just can't get around to letting it come out your mouth because it's gonna hurt. They accept it. Once you say it and know that's what you're dealing with, hey man, I figured that out a long time ago. Then you just gotta push, even though you want to deal with your people and work with them, you got to separate yourself from some of these clowns, man. Cause they ain't gonna do nothing but bring you down. It's a pitfall waiting to happen. Like a black hole, they would just want to suck you in.
But no, I'm talking about black men though. I'm talking about. I talked to a dude. I said, man, how come you don't have? The company was giving out insurance. It was only $3. I think if he died, it was like 80 grand, and then the further he did, it paid into it. It was like 120. I said, how come you don't take the $3 for your insurance? Oh man, fuck that. I said, what you mean? Hey man, I made it. He got to make it like I made it. My parents didn't have no insurance on me. My kids gonna make it like I make it. And I start to hear
selfish fucking ass attitude.
No, go ahead. No, Charles, I start to that brother just every type of selfishness and abuse of the kids was justified by it happened to me. It was almost I picked up he actually did not want his kids to benefit because he didn't. And I was like, damn.
And I'm glad you said that. Because that's the number one reason why whites are better than you. You jealous of your goddamn kids? Think about that. You jealous of your own goddamn kids? Well,
you've seen it before. You've seen it. We've all seen it. Man, this is not nothing new.
I grew up in a foster kid center. Why can't my kids grow up in a foster kid center? You see the insanity of these Negroes. Well. No, G, you can't be letting me get up in here and let my kids go to college. He go hustle drugs. He need to get out there on the block too. Oh, jealous ass Negroes, man.
Well, they will now. They will do that one now. That's a whole different thing. They will. You're right. They will do that. You know, just like that little rap. I know you guys don't keep up with this stuff, and you're right. It's silly and a waste of my time. But that little NBA young boy rapper dude who's probably going this one dude Quando, all this killing, you know, is surrounding him or whatever. Anyhow, but I'm just want to talk about his mother. That's my interest in the whole subject. His mother.
Like I swear to God, man. Like
no, forget him. It's his mother.
He's a lost guy, man. That's what happens. That's what happens when you give somebody lost money.
No, you're right, but no, it's his mother, man. Like, his mother was not in his life. He was actually raised by his grandma. So the dude got a murder charge. He beat that and criminal, just a complete criminal. But he managed to, finagle some money off this rap career, right? Guess who decided to show back up in his life?
Mama, you know that I love you. Ooh, you're the key to my heart. Your love is like food to my soul. Mama!
Mama is not nowhere, knows exactly where he is, dumped off with the grandparents. No regard for the man. The very minute he catches a little money, guess who's showing up? And now she on IG with a blue weave and them huge oversized banana lips, talking about some commenting on him and stuff like that. He done put her out of his house a couple of times. He actually bought her a house. So, but he feels obligated because that's his mother, right? But I said, man, this bitch is a troublemaker. I said, this dude right here. I said, this is his mother? I said, I cannot believe this woman is this for real? I said, she cannot be for real. This cannot be, but it's real. Yeah.
No wonder he messed up. Like, god damn. Yeah. Like, I'm like, when he goes in front of court and they see his mother and the judge be like, I'm sorry. Shit.
I think his mom is a ex-con.
You think? It's the family business, man.
Yeah, you're right. Mm-hmm.
Like, come here, mama. I gotta show you I made it. Okay. Let me come over there and fuck it all up.
Mm-hmm. That's
what you mean? We're gonna come over there and fuck it all up for you. Okay, mom. Look at LeBron's mother. Shit. She didn't even have the decency to keep her pants on. Like,
sleeping with his teammate.
You had how many NBA teams you could fuck with? How can you fucking think? And this guy make it. You know, niggas are cruel. Yeah, that's why you're like, man.
Y'all know, you know who she had sex with? She had sex with Delonte West. She had sex with his teammate Delonte West, the guy that ended up going homeless down here. It took Mark Cuban to pull him off the streets, bro. Crazy.
Man.
Think about that. How would you fuck your son's teammate? Why? Are you that big of a hoe? Are you that big of a hoe?
Say, bro, it's tough for them when they hit that wall, but they be in denial about that wall, bro. They go just keep telling themselves, I got it. I'm in shape. I'm the best. They remind me of like a 12-year NFL football offensive lineman veteran. Know his knees shot. Know the feet ain't no good. I can still block. I can still make that block no matter what. You done, man. You done. Accept it. They won't accept it.
No, gee, I can't be done. No, I'll be good. No, you can't be good. I'm gonna be good, bro. Be good. Like, god damn it, get your ass off the goddamn field. So you cost me up some more goddamn money.
Man, I think as a kid, man, the most bizarre shit I saw was these two black dudes. They were in the front yard, and one had the other in the headlock. And about an hour later, they still were in the front yard, fighting with each other. And I knew them both. But, when they fight, you don't fuck with people. But I knew them both, so I linked over. It was the sort of couple of people standing out there. I said, what's going on? They say he's still fighting with his brother. He got up and he ate the last piece of sausage. I said, damn. And I walked away. And I said, there's something going on with black people, though. Because I said, that's like, if he ate it, like, how long are you going to fight with him? Because it was like over an hour. They still were out there going at it.
Fam, I just explained to you what syndrome that was. Crab in the barrel syndrome mentality. Everybody act like that syndrome done left our people. Man, we've been suffering from that since Jim Crow.
Jim Crow, huh? I'll tell you what.
It's not, like I said, man, it's a trip, man. I know a lady right now. She told me, she said, because she had got it's like a tax thing and all that. She said I was gonna open up this little app, like this little nightclub for kids. She said, but I ain't gonna do it. It's like 18 and under, because it's like a lot of people go for the 21 and over crowd, but you can go for the 18 and under crowd. She said, I ain't gonna do it. She said, because of my security. She said, I just went over my bonding and stuff. She said, my motherfucking security costs would be out the roof. And she said, all it would take is one incident and then it's gonna triple. So she said, fuck it. Because she was thinking about it. She said, no. Because she said, they're gonna come in there and act like a fool. She said, if you go to the other side of town, she said the kids, they're kids, but they still have a manner of, they behave in a manner where you still can conduct, they'll just play the video games, they'll eat a little pizza, bowl or whatever, and then go home. One or two might do some stuff, kissing or something, trying to be girlfriend, but for the most part, they're controlled. But with the black kids, man, that shit just get amped. And then next thing you know, the window get knocked, somebody got thrown out a window, somebody done pulled out a gun, somebody done shot, somebody, your insurance to maintain the establish, goes through the roof. So now you can't even make a profit.
You know why? Because mama said I don't have to take care of shit.
Yeah.
But that's that effeminate attitude, when you had men once upon a time to today. Cut that shit out. Now we got men who be like, you know what? Ain't none of my business. Leave me alone. Leave me alone. And it goes back into this. I got a lot more shit to be scared of than a Donald Trump presidency than what Vaughn said. Okay. You got shit like this in the goddamn hood on a day-to-day basis. And you got a nigga who got a Juris Doctorate from fucking Yale who's so out of touch with black people, he probably doesn't even remember the last time he even spoke to a black person.
Mm.
And he's talking, and he, hold on. I feel good that I can tell my son the same thing go outside. Even though it's my job as a father to protect him. But I just didn't want him to find out that I'm bitch made. I'm scared. Come over, Joe. Just hold me, Joe. Hold me.
Yeah, masculinity. Yeah, masculinity in black men too. They, you know, the society outside, they really don't want that to mix, but they would put that out, that effeminate image of him in tears and stuff. And it's all, the black man is always like that. I'm just saying, it kills me how they do that. It's like you don't see white men in tears. Now, I did see the thing about Trump. I don't know if that was true, if that was a fake video, but I'm just saying you don't really see white men in tears.
Yeah, you know. Like, God damn it, can we? Damn, you gotta put this crime motherfucker up on it. Damn. Niggas always like, shit. This nigga still crying. Get this nigga out of here.
That's what they. It's crazy, man.
I'm scared. I feel scared for my Muslim friends.
Crying? Grown men don't cry.
I cry. Ah! Wait a minute. You went to Lily White Yale. You telling me you think Trump's racist? I know you probably thought they probably had your nickname nigga all across that damn campus. Like, but they like me. They even gave me a nickname. What's that? Darky. They call me that all around campus. They like me. They really, really like me. Pathetic. Fucking pathetic.
Yeah. Van Jones is he's just a political advocate anyhow, right? For the Democratic Party, right? So he's not really
he's not a powerhouse or nothing like that. But you know, they're gonna prop that motherfucker up. They're gonna prop his ass up. And see, here's the harshness of it all. You're gonna get a lot of these. He said Van Jones is a whole lot of here. You're gonna get these jackasses with this large amount of education, and they're gonna be talking for black people like we don't know any better. Like, no, boss, I speak. You know, excuse me, man. Excuse me. I got a boss. I speak fluent in nigga. Like, what the fuck? Like, but yet, you don't see motherfuckers like him anywhere to be found when there's an issue in the black community that needs to be addressed.
It's to me, it's like they're hip. It's like, to me, when it comes to like a white person, they want to tell me you need to forgive. Now, look, I don't have a problem with white, but I'm just saying, like, if a white person fuck me over, they're gonna say, look, listen to me. I know he was wrong, but it's important. You know, the teachings of Dr. King and in the Bible, you need to have forgiveness in your heart. Now, the fact that you want revenge or you want him to pay for his transgression, you have some hatred in you. What's wrong with you? Have forgiveness. You know, get that out of you. I said, okay, forgive. Right? The white man did me wrong. Forgive. Okay. Black man do me wrong. Look, we need the max. Matter of fact, we want double the max. That's a double the max. Yeah, double. The black man, they can't. We're not going to tolerate a black man. And so, wait a minute, but the white man did. No, listen to me. You listen to me. I know it's harsh, but it's the way of the world. He's got to pay for what he did. But you told me to let the other guy go. No, you're messing it up. Listen to me. That's what me. That's what's always described to me. If a black person do it, punish him. White person, forgive him. Black person, fuck him. Yeah.
I swear to God, you saying it with Biden right now. well, Biden made a mistake. Even my Mexican homeboy, he was like, well, that was 40 years ago. I said, motherfucker, if somebody came down wearing a goddamn sombrero talking about some I, you would want his head on a platter. So shut the fuck up. But you got to remember, even your friends and family members who are not black will not understand why we don't vote for these motherfuckers.
Yeah, I got you, but I'm saying they see it like okay, when I was a supervisor, if I punished a black dude, right, they looked at me as I was being equal and fair. But I said, damn, I have to be unfair to be equal and fair, because if I let the white dude late for work, if I said, man, I know you overslept, I'm gonna let you go. They looked at me as being, hey man, you working with your people, man. You're a supervisor, you showing leadership. The black dude was late. If I didn't write him up, they was like, man, you don't be letting him go because he's black. I said, well, I'm just treating him like I'm treating everybody. Nah, man, you got to punish him, man. I mean, I know it's fucked up, but that's just the way it is. But the other guy, you were saying, that's what I'm saying. It's like crazy, man. It's like, what the fuck, man?
Yeah. I mean,
yeah, they want you. That's what I'm saying. It's like crazy for us, man. As black people, it's like we got to shit on each other, but we got to forgive everybody else. Let's go back to immigration. That's why black people, whether it's legal or not, black people, they look at black people. You don't have a right to even say, like, no, we are Americans, but you don't really have a right, Negro, to even talk about immigration. You need to be forgiving these people, and you need to be sympathetic to their concerns. You forget about that you're American shit. That's what they're saying to you.
In the mortal words of BGS, bullshit.
Bullshit that, because guess what? Here's my problem with all that bullshit. I'm just gonna look at it and be like, yo, you telling me that I need to be understanding of a bunch of people that will call me nigga just as fast as you.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's so wonderful.
But them same people, this is the hypocrisy. Them same people who lecturing you on that and teaching you this will tell you don't hire your cousin who got a felony, right, for some nonviolent crime. Which you can hire him, right? Don't hire him. Why? Man, don't do that. He's got to suffer. He's got to pay for what he done. But they won't do the same thing. It's like, that's what I'm saying. It's like it's like black people are supposed to be just tortured and punished relentlessly. Mm-hmm. They don't get these breaks, but other people, you got to suffer. I got to suffer. Take a chance of getting fired. Say, hey man, well, I can't hire them if they don't have. Man, you can hire them. You'll be okay. Then I get fired. Oh, bro, you just bearing the cross. That's the cross of Jesus. You're a good man.
You're a good man. You got to forgive that white man. So what? So what? That white man, he has the skin of the Lord.
Yeah, that's actually what that's what they teach, and it's like, man, that's crazy. But that's what they say, man. And that's bro, I cannot believe you guys. They're serious.
He's a cool white boy. Mm-hmm. He listened to Tupac once.
Mm-hmm.
All you gotta do is some nigga shit, and you down with black people, man.
No, you can have a good job. Like you could be a certified plumber, and then if you hire a bunch of people, the company tell you to your face, do not hire these particular people, like crimes or whatever, or immigrants or something like that. I mean, like illegal, but you hire them anyhow because people tell you to do it. You do it, you get caught, then you get fired, you lose your certificate. They'll walk you through the church with some thorns on your head and say, he's just bearing the cross. He's going through some troubles. And then you wind up getting like $6-7 an hour fixing pipes when you normally was getting like about $150,000 a year.
Like, Lord, I know you're going through some struggles. We all go through struggles. I'm gonna make a comic book called The Big Lips. Because it sounds like it always sounds like motherfuckers with the biggest lips always talking about struggle. Like, I know you're going through something. The Lord's got you.
Yeah.
Can he loan me about $2,000? Well, you gotta understand, the Lord's got you.
Yeah, okay. Man. I'm telling you, man. it's not worth it. I've seen Charles. I've seen it. I've seen these guys. I was like, man, you could actually do this. I was like, hey man, you could drive all that construction. Like this dude was pushing a broom. I'm telling you, he was pushing a broom and he was doing day labor, putting shit in garbage cans, picking up, loose wires and shit like that. And I said, what happened, man? Like you can drive all. He said, I could drive every machine on this lot, all of them. I said, what happened? He had did some dumb shit, right? And lost his whatever they wouldn't let him drive it or whatever. So, and then he was out there doing like basic work from me when he was making like I think $30 an hour.
Mm-hmm.
And it was all for some coaching. It was all for some being a good, that so-called being a good Christian bullshit. He did something, but he wound up taking it from him. I think it was.
Nobody knows the struggle. Like, goddamn.
They prayed for him. The pastor prayed for him and put oil on him. But I said, bro, that don't pay no bills. And all that stuff you get in the church, that stuff ain't gonna take you over. His wife left him too, by the way. His wife, she left. She got the fuck up out of there, and the kids. And so I said, man, but
damn, even Jesus don't forgive you, man. God damn. How the fuck? How the hell the pastor gonna put some oil on you, but not a 20 on your pocket?
Now you gonna put a 20 in his pocket for that $2 bottle, bottle of oil.
Gentlemen, it's been an honor and a pleasure. Yeah, honor and a pleasure. But it's time for me to go make some money. We're gonna catch up with you. Charles, keep doing your thing. Chaos, you keep doing what you're doing. We appreciate you. And it's been a pleasure. Y'all take it easy.
All right, bro.
All right.
I gotta be like Van Jones. I gotta forgive the mighty Joe Biden. He go resurrect black people. He go, them motherfuckers out there in the streets. Can you see a brand new day?
Mm-hmm.
I tell you, it's some ridiculous shit, man.
Man, they don't. The whole point of well, it's not even Joe Biden. The whole point of just having a leader is for you to suffer. You're not supposed to ever ask your leader for nothing. That's why the pastor. Let's just say that the pastor is a de facto leader. He's supposed to live like lavish and big fancy car and lobsters and crabs and the finer things and a maid. You're supposed to, be down there eating corn mash and no air conditioner, a little box fan, $12 box fan, your kids sleeping on milk crates. That's the whole point. You spending most of your money for that pastor. You're suffering. So you're serving of higher purpose.
Well, in the book of Nigrates, he who had done the most sin gets to have the first rock and stone. And I know my heaven and my reward is waiting for me. Oh, you better hope they don't have the black version of heaven. Like, where the pearly gate, where they have been, like, chiseling a part of the pearly gates and shit.
Mm-hmm.
Where the streets are yellow with yellow, but it's not gold. Like, yeah. I set up a place for you. It's called the High Rise over there. Your people go over there. Damn, there's red lighted in heaven. Ain't that a bitch? Like, see, the craziest part about it, and you're right, part of this effeminate behavior is part of the church.
Mm-hmm.
Part of it is the modern church as well.
Well, see, Charles, I've always said that what Negroes practice. I keep saying, because I try to be careful because I believe that if a person has a faith, if it's Jewish or whether they're Jewish, Islamic, or
I know. I see it on the iPad. Hello?
Is that you? Somebody's moving something around.
No, I was talking about my son.
Okay. Oh. No, I believe that Look, if a person is a Christian, a Catholic, a Jew person, Jewish or whatever, I don't have a problem with that. Because when I make this comment, I'm not trying to attack the teachings or that faith. But I will say that what they taught black people was a slave gospel. It was a gospel that really destroyed them because it doesn't make them see, it makes them submissive and subservient. And that's why it makes them want to suffer.
Yeah, it makes them feel like they're not worthy of me. Like there's
Yeah.
always something wrong with me. If you want more out of life, there's something wrong with you. I know. You want to do better than the rest of the niggas? You need to be excommunicated, my nigga. Oh my God. What's wrong with you, nigga? It's almost like being a free thinker is against the fucking law. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah. When and I've had, throughout my life, I've had so many Negroes, man, quote scripture to me. And the thing about it, when I was really young, I didn't know any better. But then when I started picking up, I said, whoa, because I was like, this dude finna quote scripture to me? Nigga, you don't practice your motherfucker. You ain't a man of faith or no shit. What are you saying? And I said, man, Negroes love to quote them scriptures, bro. But when it comes to following the motherfuckers, they ain't gonna do that. But they full of them scriptures.
Well, that's the truth because first and foremost, you can't tell me what to do because the Lord, I only answer to the Lord. See, if you actually had God on earth to tell these people, they wouldn't use that phrase, would they? Only God can judge me. Yeah, and even he said you're a whore. He said you're a whore or a crybaby. Which one do you want? Shoot.
These Negroes will kill each other over a $2 dice game, and the Negro will justify it by saying, "Well, God know my heart." So that's your defense. That's what you're gonna tell. Yeah,
God knows your heart. God knows that you had a bad roll. That's why you shot him. Bow. Oh shit. Snake eyes. What did I do? Why? Like, God damn. And it's sad because the more you get away from the masculinity and the more we get towards being effeminate or the effeminacy, the less you have a brotherhood. The less you have a keeper of your brother. And see, that's what a lot of females don't recognize and don't understand because they're not men. It's not their fault. The more we effeminate our boys, the less of a brotherhood and the less accountability we have for men. You can't be a real man unless you're held accountable by other men. When you put them through this indoctrination of effemination, you're robbing them. Look at Van Jones. How the fuck you gonna be crying every goddamn time? Big linebacker looking motherfucker. It's okay for my kids to cry. There are times as a man, random women in trouble, like let's say, God forbid, like 9/11. Women are looking towards men to lead them out of danger. How you think it looks when you crying every guy?
But that to me, that's that daddy thing though. It's like the slave. Like, okay, and it's like the slave when daddy came home. It's like kids, but I'm just saying, even like the slaves, when master came home, it was like daddy coming home. It was a calmness. It was a secureness. I feel comfortable that my daddy's home. My leader is here. And when you see that Van Jones thing, Joe Biden, that's a leader. Even though he's far removed from that White House, he wants to sleep. I guess you could say, for lack of a better word, with a Democrat in office, that makes him sleep another hour more sounder. He's a deeper snore.
I like his type of racism. It's he wants that snuggle, that tickle me Elmo racism. Ooh, you're a nigger. Oh, I love you, Yobo. Oh, stop hugging me, doggy. I'll hug you longer. Oh, go to
Yeah,
jail. Oh my
yeah.
goodness. Don't you niggas got a
Go to
job?
jail. Well, no,
Yeah,
I'm
some
just
of
saying it's Negroes like that though, man. These Negroes. That's what I said, man. I said, man, Negroes don't want no separation or no freedom from whites. They love whites, and they want to
mhm.
be. It's like a battered wife. She won't leave. Like the dude go upside her head. They said, well, we have a shelter over here. No, and he ain't, and leave my husband alone, leave my man alone. He didn't do nothing to me. And you show up, you're a police officer, right? You show up, there's blood just streaming down her head. He didn't do anything to me. I failed.
Mhm.
You like what? You
You like you be like beat ass. Ah, hang it out of her socket.
uh, uh,
I fell.
yeah.
What?
that's that's to me. That's when I'm talking about with a refusal for freedom. Like she don't want to be. I was told a bunch of times, but well, anyhow, she don't want to be beaten up because nobody does. But she don't want to leave that man. And
Mhm.
if it means she got to be beaten up, if she got to be beaten up to be with him, she'll take the beating. And that's that goes back to black people to me. They rather say, hey, look, I'm gonna take the abuse of this guy because I know, I'm not saying he's not, but I'm ready for him to bang my head wide open because I
Mhm.
feel better with him. And that's what I'm saying. You see that with the Joe Biden situation right here. That's what you're getting from Van Jones.
Mhm. You're getting Daddy Joe. He got to know that this hoe's got to go. I mean, look at Kamala. 1 minute in the video, he, you got Kamala. Well, I was one of those kids being bused, and the next thing you know, she playing party politics. Oh, is this the way I get to go to the White House too? Oh, Joe ain't that bad. He apologizes. Oh, Joe. Oh, even though she was raised in Canada.
Mm-hmm.
But I was one of them kids bust. Yeah, we didn't want your ass to go there either. But see, this
Well,
is
people
the
don't
reason.
understand Kamala, but like we all have our beginnings, and she went to the HBCU and all of that. But Kamala Harris she's far removed from African American.
Oh yeah.
Period. I
Oh,
mean, I hope people realize that.
she wasn't
Listening to
even.
Cardi B, who's not an African American, listening to Cardi B does not make you an African American female.
Who the fuck? What politician says I listen to Guns N' Roses? That's why you should give me the white vote.
Yeah. Yeah.
Welcome to the jungle. We got funny games. It's like, what the fuck?
But
Why people look at
the
you?
well, wait a minute. But the difference is they are actually white dudes, though. You know what I'm saying? Like Cardi B, was
Yeah,
she Dominican? I'm just saying. Look,
just think America.
yeah. So like listening to her does not vouch for Kamala saying that she's a black woman. Look, I don't have a problem with Cardi B or whatever. She says she's black. I believe her. Okay, but she's what, Jamaican and Canadian?
Indian.
Indian? And, yeah. And people need to
She's.
study Gandhi. If you think Indians are, really down with black people, go study
Oh
Gandhi.
man, it's so sad that Gandhi would call black people all kinds of nasty shit, a kufar, whatever the fuck you call them, and all this nasty shit. He looked like one of them skinny little white guys that, nigga, what? I heard something. No, I don't know, nigga. Oh, is that you call me a nigga? No.
Mm-hmm.
Like, but they come over here and steal your nigga jobs, though.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, they do. But guess what? If she gets in office, the first thing she gonna do is push for East Indians to come over here with a lot of work visas. We need the medical doctors over here. You're gonna have all those motherfuckers sound like they in the quickie mart together and shit. Like, yo, because guess what? They're gonna talk about us too. So fuck them. guess what? She's gonna be loyal to her side of the family.
If we don't let this religion thing go, though, we're gonna always be on the bottom rung. And what I mean is, I'm gonna say it again because I thought, we talked about. I talked about it with other people. When you talk about Islam, you embrace what's practiced in Mecca. Okay, that's the faith, right? Don't embrace the offshoot. When you talk about Christianity, how do others practice? Because it's different, right? Look at it. Don't embrace that Negro storefront church.
You're actually supposed to embrace the Coptic Christianity that was invented in Ethiopia.
Okay.
You're supposed to do that. Just like Muslims are supposed to listen to whatever the doctrine is in Mecca. Just like Jews are supposed to listen to the first 5 books, well, the Torah, especially the first 5 books.
Mm-hmm.
So when you actually look at shit, that means when you just like the example, when you look at Islam, do you go to whoever's telling you in the corner, or do you go to the source?
You gotta go to the source.
Exactly, and that's the one failure what people don't do when it comes to research. You got people talking about we got a racist out of the office, like, so y'all niggas not gonna check up on Biden to make sure he's not another one, or worse racist than you claim Trump to be. Because I love the fact that I was making more money with Trump's office. My stocks were flourishing.
I'll follow you on that.
Do I agree with everything he says? Hell no. I don't agree with nobody says all the time. I said we need to be more practical than emotional. But go ahead.
No, I follow you on that as far as politics. I mean, I look at politics as politics. When I look at somebody like Kamala, I think that she's a good template to see that, hey, she's just a politician, which means she's gonna say whatever she can to get in office and go forward. She's gonna get her family. Now that she got herself in office, vice president, she's gonna be using her influence to bring the people that are close. That's politics. She's gonna be a politician. So, but see, I don't look at a politician as a savior. We talk about that with that JFK, Martin Luther King, and Gandhi. Was it Gandhi? Was it Gandhi on there? It was JFK, Dr. King. It was a fan. Remember that fan back in the day? JFK, Martin Luther King. No, it was Jesus. It was Jesus, JFK, and Dr. King. It was a fan that your grandmama might have had pinned up on the wall, right? I don't look at politicians like that. They're not coming from Jesus.
They're being deitized and shit.
Yeah.
The only person, the craziest thing about that little fan of that picture, everybody on that wall, the only person black on that wall is Jesus. I mean, it's not Jesus, not a Jesus, Martin Luther King. Like, you put a black it's so indoctrinated that you can't put you can't put a picture of black Jesus in your parents' house.
Yeah.
Like, god damn, they'd be like, Jesus is not black. What? Oh my goodness.
I think that was handed out too. I think politicians, you know what? I don't know. I'd have find. I think those fans were mass produced and handed out at the church to pass out as fans for the attendees, and those things wind up going back into those black homes and getting posted on walls, and those young children and the sons and daughters and wind up getting indoctrinated like a Mao Zedong fucking photo, because we didn't know any better. We saw it on the wall, and that was Jesus, and that's Dr. King, and that's JFK. Then they must be, the line and throne is the next guy up, So that's why that might be why there's such a resistance to particular politicians. But I'm just saying, like, it's like religion. I mean, the politician, I don't even like to get into that. People, like, I put my vote in, man. Whoever other people vote for, they vote for.
I just look at it like it's some sorry shit going on here. About to wrap things up. Any last words, Platinum?
No, I was just pulling up, man. I hadn't seen you in a minute. I saw you were live and shit. I'm sub to you, so I was just saying, let me pull up and say something to Charles.
Yeah, appreciate it. Appreciate the support. Appreciate the viewership that everybody's giving. Don't worry, I get to give another fiery subject again. If you missed some of the content, it's in the archives for the people. Thank you once again for everybody's viewership. I know, I think Art News Star might be on, or I think Angry Man might be on, so I'm gonna check them out.
Okay.
So thank you all. Woo! Remember,
Right.
effeminate men are the stagnation of leadership. Instead of crying and teaching your kids the indoctrination of fear, why not give them the knowledge, the strength, the boldness of becoming something that can overcome anything? I want you to take that to heart, everybody. Woo! Thank you. God bless. And we out.